Imagine yourself lost in the dense, unexplored Congo Basin, back in 1880. No radio, no flashlight, no GPS, no rescue team, nothing that aids you in any way. The jungle around you is alive. Every branch drips with water. Every shadow hides movement. And the night is coming fast. You need shelter because once darkness reaches the forest floor, you stop being the hunter and become the hunted. Something is already following you. Something patient, something intelligent. A Congoraptor. In the Congo 1880 comics, the Congoraptor is a medium-sized dromaeosaur, a close relative of animals like the Velociraptor and the Deinonychus. It's a predator based on the latest science. Feathered, fast, smart, and built for ambush. Real dromaeosaurs probably hunted using speed, balance, and devastating claw attacks. Their famous sickle claw likely helped pin down prey, and the jaws tore flesh apart, while the prey was still very much alive. You hear it before you see it. A whistle, human maybe, faint. It's somewhere deeper in the trees. Maybe another explorer, or maybe a local. You answer back, desperate. Silence. Then the same whistle repeats. Closer. Too close now. And that's your first mistake, because the Congoraptor mimics sound. Not perfectly, but perfectly enough to fool you. Modern birds already imitate human voices. Parrots, ravens, lyrebirds. A dromaeosaur involving mimicry isn't too far-fetched. And in a rainforest where visibility is almost zero, sound easily becomes a weapon. The moment you respond, it knows exactly where you are. You panic and run. Branches whip across your face. Mud pulls at your boots. Your breathing goes louder. And that's exactly what the animal wants. Because humans are endurance hunters on open ground, but not in dense rainforest. Here, you are slow, blind, and loud. The Congoraptor moves differently. It flows easily through vegetation. And then you hear footsteps beside you. Not behind, beside, keeping pace. You turn your head, and nothing. Then pain explodes in your leg. The raptor strikes from the side. One slash from the claw violently opens your thigh, and you collapse. And now the real attack begins. The animal begins feeding on you before you die. You don't run. Instead, you decide to climb a tree. That works against leopards sometimes, but it won't work against a dromaeosaur built for balance and grasping movement. The Congoraptor leaps and uses momentum and its claws against the tree. It is not an optimal climber, but it can manage. And if somehow it can't get to you, it waits. And that's the terrifying part. It doesn't roar or scream like films made us believe. It simply watches, for hours if necessary. Eventually, you grow tired. Your muscles lock. Rain and humidity make the bark slippery, and exhaustion makes the decision for you. The moment you descend, presuming it's safe, a dark shadow erupts from the vegetation and slashes you in the gut. If you don't immediately pass out, you will, eventually. The Congoraptor takes its time, avoiding killing you too fast. It wants you fresh for as long as possible. So maybe you have a campfire, and that's smart. Most predators fear the flames, but this species evolved around volcanic regions and lightning fires deep in Central Africa for millions of years. It respects fire, but it also understands distance. The Congoraptor circles you, just beyond visibility. You hear its movement, then silence. Then something impossible. A human voice, weak and distant, like a crying somewhere in the jungle. Your brain wants it to be real so much, and because you probably have been lost out here for a while, and because you are human, an obligatory social species, you step away from the firelight, and it rapidly attacks from darkness. A burst of feathers, teeth and claws. Suddenly, the forest floor is red. The most dangerous predators are not always the strongest, but the ones who understand fear the best. A tiger ambushes, a crocodile waits, a wolf pack isolates. The Congoraptor combines all three: intelligence, patience, and relentless pursuit. Real dromaeosaurs may have behaved similarly, by being calculated predators, targeting weakness. But there is actually one way you might live against all odds. You stop moving, you stop answering sounds, you stop panicking. You become unpredictable instead of acting like the prey it knows. You find shallow water, deep enough to mask scent and sound. You stay awake through the night and pray there's not anything worse than a Congoraptor in these waters, because there very well may be. And even if there isn't, the Congoraptor might not be alone. If you're lucky, dawn changes the odds in your favor, as most ambush predators lose advantage in daylight. Bird calls return, and the mist begins to clear. For the first time you see it, about 10 meters away, with blue feathers soaked by rain and yellow eyes fixed directly on you. It's calculating. Then, slowly, it disappears back into the jungle. Because surviving was about staying low and unpredictable. That's what tricked the Congoraptor. The Congo Basin in 1880 was one of the most unexplored places on Earth, a forgotten world where thousands vanished without explanation. And if something like the Congoraptor truly existed there, it alone would shape a very different ecosystem. Once the forest became quiet, it would already be too late. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and activate the bell icon if you want to know more about the Congoraptor. Until next time.